over, like, this is a good debate right here, dude. This is peak lawyer maxing. So this is a lawyer versus lawyer debate. The point at issue is whether the Democrats are justified in stacking the Supreme Court. Ryan Mullally is a very well established lawyer. He has argued at all levels. He's argued at the federal level, like myself, but he's also argued at the Supreme Court level. I have not done that yet. So he is a very, very good advocate. Pisco is also a lawyer, but his position kind of sucks. And you'll see like this main difference here. You will see everything that I talk about in every single debate breakdown stream. Ryan does like perfectly here.
Lawyer versus lawyer today. We got Pisco and Ryan Mullally. Mullally. I'm going to get it right by the end of this.
It's all right. No one in history ever has.
Awesome.
Well, hold up. I got 50 gifted from Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that, man.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Thank you for the 50 gifted. Rachel, $5. I said that about narcissistic behavior, no facial expressions, just a blank stare. Listening to you listen to his authority. I had a roomie like this. Yeah. Yeah, it's narcissistic. It's bullying behavior. That's part of why I love being a lawyer, because then I get to put bullies in uncomfortable positions. Kelly's a boomer. It's normal. He's a boomer and a bully. And he got exposed last night for like literally just being a bully. Didn't he also reveal that he's a dispensationalist? Yeah, and a Zionist. Dispensationalist and a Zionist. If Pisco is your counsel, may God help you. I mean, he's good, but he was totally outclassed by Mullally, or like totally outclassed, dude. Okay, let's like listen to these openings. Watch.
Well, that makes me feel better. So the proposition tonight is that the Democrats are justified in expanding the Supreme Court. We got Pisco on the affirmative here, and then Mr. Mullally taking the I got it that time. Nice. Taking the stance against. So we're gonna get right into it with 2 5-minute openings, one each here. And since Pisco's got the affirmative, he'll be going first. And we're going to jump right into it. Before we do, though, I do want to just ask you guys, like the video, subscribe if you're not. And then we do have tickets for DebateCon 8 in July coming up. It's our flagship debate conference, and they are in the description.
Okay, awesome, Big Mike.
Guys. Appreciate you guys. And we're going to start as soon as you...
Exclusively by Democrats.
Okay.
All right, folks. Yeah, I'm in favor of expanding the Supreme Court, exclusively by Democrats, I would like to add. And I want to start by quoting Senator Mitch McConnell in the aftermath of Antonin Scalia's death in 2016. This is a quote. We know the Democrats.
Yeah, so basically in 2016, Antonin Scalia, like one of the more legendary Supreme Court justices, reposed. He passed away, and there was like a vacancy open, and instead of filling it while Obama was in office, they waited. The Republicans forced everybody to wait to see the outcome of the election. So he's saying that like this resulted in injury. Basically, I will boil down the argument for you. This resulted in some injury, like some tort, like some injury against the Democratic Party. So now they should be able to stack the court in the way they see fit, because since they waited to fill in that last seat to see if Trump would win the election in 2016, now you have also Gorsuch and Kavanaugh and who's the lady from Notre Dame, Amy Coney Barrett, right? So he's saying there's like they should be entitled to put like 4 more Supreme Court justices on the court that are just like Democrats, and they want to stack it.
If the shoe were on the other foot, they would not be confirming a Republican's presidential nomination for the Supreme Court in the middle of a presidential election year. We think
the politics are tertiary, Yonan. It's the debate skill that we're looking for here.
The American people ought to decide this. We're not going to move on this nomination. We're not going to have hearings. We're not going to have votes on it. In 2016, Mitch McConnell took the decision to
These are only 5-minute openings, by the way, so we'll just go through them.
Categorically reject all nominations that Obama was going to put through many, many months before the election. And this was a form of court packing. And it's a form of court packing which merits a response. Now, I've come to this debate with a formally valid argument. And that means if the premises of this argument are true, the conclusion that the Democrats ought to do court expansion just follows. So I want to take you guys through it. And hopefully you guys can read it. If not, I'll just try to make this a bit bigger. I can't do it.
It's like pretty unfortunate placement for his slides.
Good. Okay. So the first premise, I think
this is like a 6 premise thing. Like, so if there was injurious partisan Supreme Court packing and there is no effective way to reverse it without court packing, then the proposed reciprocal packing doesn't overshoot beyond mild deterrence. And there's no, this is like a like a really compound premise. And there's no reason to expect severe consequence cascade. Then the injured party is justified in reciprocal expansion of the Supreme Court. There was injurious partisan Supreme Court packing. There is no effective way to reverse it without court packing. A proposed reciprocal packing doesn't overshoot beyond mild deterrence. There's no reason to expect severe consequence cascade. The injured party are the Democrats. Conclusion, the Democrats are justified in expanding the United States Supreme Court. What's the problem with that opening? You realize how technical this is and like how dumb this is? Look how like technical and like ridiculous. Like, who is he expecting to follow this thing? This is horrible. Nobody's gonna follow this. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about these stupid premises. Like, nobody's gonna follow this. Also, there's no reason to expect a severe consequence cascade. That is actually like when we were talking about the actual, yeah, it's a wall of text syllogism. This is when people try to hide things. This is what they do. This is what people do when they try to hide things. These text walls. Exactly, you're spot on.
Is something that's easily agreeable to. It's just the notion that in the cases in which reciprocal court packing will not lead to a cascade of consequences, will not result in a bunch of huge parade of horribles that people are disclaiming, and in which there actually has been an injury done, some court packing done, that in those cases, it's justified for the injured party to retaliate. And of course, it's natural to do so too. The first, or actually the second premise of the argument is that in fact, there was injurious partisan court packing done. This, I think, is obvious. If you go back to 2016, you see what Mitch McConnell did, and it was categorically an attempt with an irregular process in violation of a constitutional norm to change the composition of the court, not just wait for vacancies that emerge in the ordinary course of events, but to fundamentally violate a constitutional norm for the purposes of affecting the partisan balance of the court. That should be an easy premise to agree to. There's no
Super chat. Let's look at the super chats. Michael Stratman. John says he's speaking to the church as a collective under a bishop, saying they need no one else to teach them. Individuals need a teacher. Oh yeah, when you're talking about like when he brought up 1 John 2. Yeah, I agree. And like John literally says in the like 2 sentences preceding that verse, he says, "That is why I have written these things to you. You don't need anyone else to teach you on this." Like it doesn't say what he said he was saying. Got 20 gifted from Zach.
Amazing.
Thank you. And 2-month membership from Ephraim. The sovereign citizen comparison is devastating for the proposition. I couldn't think of a better or more embarrassing and appropriate example. Well, thank you. Yes, I also thought it was very apt. They are literally the sovereign citizens of Christianity and theology. It's insane. Hey, this ecumenical council says this: I don't submit to the traditions of man. I have the Holy Bible. It's like, hey, you know, there's a Supreme Court position that says the Second Amendment means this. I don't submit to the Supreme Court position on this. They're literally just sovereign citizens. It's crazy.
no effective way to reverse this injury other than through court packing, right? There's some things that you could do to try to remedy this injury.
So basically, because they delayed after Antonin Scalia reposed, he's saying that the Democrats are entitled to some like court packing policy.
The Republicans could, if they wanted to, just let the Democrats nominate a nominee. The next time one comes up, the justice could resign in recognition for what happened. There could be a neutral constitutional amendment that's presented, but none of those are effective and none of those are likely to occur, and therefore there's no effective way to reverse the injury without a court expansion in kind. The proposed reciprocal court packing doesn't overshoot beyond mild deterrence. I'm not advocating for us to do a 100-person court pack of the Supreme Court. We're just trying to remedy the injury that was done to the Democrats in 2016 and to respond in kind the way that Mitch McConnell suggested would be done, through a legal mechanism, through an authorized mechanism. So I think that's, whatever you want to dial in on your notion of proportionality here, if you accept even just one seat, I think you're definitionally in favor of court expansion. And so we can quibble about how much would constitute mild deterrence, but as long as you're agree that there was at least one seat that could be rectified, and I think honestly mathematically it's two, if not more, then I think that you should be in favor of that proportionality premise. And then finally, there's no reason to expect a severe consequence cascade. Every time we have these debates, it seems like people are trying to generate a list of things that will occur without a doubt, and they relate to the rule of law, just breaking down fundamentally. They relate to this oscillation between both parties that creates some severe consequence. But what is the actual empirical basis to believe that that's going to occur? Where are the case studies that show that if this occurs, if there's a reciprocal court expansion, that what happens is you break down the rule of law? If you go back into our history, you'll see that there was not just court expansions of the federal Supreme Court for partisan reasons. There were court expansions of state Supreme Court courts, highest courts of last resort in states, as recently as this year in Utah. Is the rule of law breaking down in Utah? Is the rule of law over in Georgia or in Arizona, where they were, in my view, explicitly partisan court packs? No. And so I actually think my opposition has, a case to show that this is false, if he's going to say that this is like necessarily bad, if he's going to take anything other than an agnostic position. But I think that the evidence is such that this will increase the structural stability of the United States. We shouldn't expect to see a breakdown of the rule of law or an increased tendency of the executive to disobey court orders. And so I think basically you're likely to see a lot of positive outcomes, and certainly in terms of the legitimacy of the court in the public's eyes, I think will be vastly improved if our court starts doing more popular things, because that's the vision of legitimacy that the population cares about.
All righty, thank you for that.
All right, did any of you guys get what his position was from this opening? I want to, maybe I should take a poll. I don't know. Did any of you guys get what his point was? This was so weak. Horrible way to do. No, Noah is with it. Noah and I are mind melding right now. Horrible way to do an opening. The only thing he puts on the screen is a text wall. It's a waste of being given the opportunity to take up part of the screen and break something down to the audience. 100%. This was a horrendous opening. It was weak. It was abstract. I'm allergic to it. Allergic to these horrible openings. It was so bad. We are still mad about Obama not getting Garland. That's all I got. It was boring, yes. He says the Democrats lost. They should have won. Let us win, please. Right over. Thank you. I glazed over 5. Yes, okay, now. I'm glad you guys all got that impression of this. Now listen to Ryan's opening, okay? This is why I love this debate, because Ryan Mullally, ladies and gentlemen, he understands what good advocacy is. All right, listen to his opening.
That 5-minute opening, and we're going to turn it over to Mr. Ryan here. Whenever you start talking, I'll hit the timer.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Ryan Mullally. I'm an attorney. I've litigated at every level of the U.S. legal system, up to and including the U.S. Supreme Court. And I'm here today to open your eyes to a grave threat to our liberty, our Constitution, and yes, the rule of law. Prominent Democrats are now openly arguing for a set of policies, including the most radical and unprecedented court packing in the history of the country, adding 4 justices to the U.S. Supreme Court on a purely partisan basis. They do it with a smile on their face, cloaking themselves in false virtue, and hoping you will praise them for their tyranny. Pisco has the unenviable task of trying to defend these tyrannical proposals. To do so, he's selected a classic lawyer's trick. Atomize the issue, drown you in banality and unnecessary complexity, and paint a thin veneer of logic over the unjustifiable.
Which is what he just did in his opening. It's what he just did in his opening. Was he abstracted? And he used like a thin layer of logic to try to hide the fact that they're trying to add 4 judges to the Supreme Court. They're trying to add 4 Democrats to the Supreme Court. Like,
in other words, Pisco's job tonight is to obfuscate the Democrats' tyrannical plans. My job is to reveal them. And you don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need a 6-premise argument to understand the grave threat to your liberty extremists like Pisco pose.
You don't need a 6-premise argument to understand that this is a threat to your liberty. Bam!
He is arguing that it's fine, even justified, for the Democrats to expand the court, which has been 9 justices since the Civil War era, and do so in the most radical and unprecedented way in our history. Why? Because they don't like the current Supreme Court. They don't like how they rule, and they want to get their way. That's why. It's that simple. So how do the Democrats plan to alter our Constitution, vitiate the independence of our highest court, entrench their own power? What's their plan? Well, they've told you. They said it publicly. First, they want to add 4 or more, some of them have said more, justices to the court, likely young, left-leaning justices who will serve for decades and enable the Democrats' agenda for the next 50 years. But that's not enough for them, by the way. That's just the appetizer.
If they add 4 Democrats, just add 4 Republicans. It's easy. That's the cascade that Pisco is saying doesn't happen, that he's saying it won't happen, that there won't be a consequence cascade. Right, but it's like obviously it will, right? Like Ryan Mullally, he is on top of this, dude.
They also want to make DC and Puerto Rico states, because that would give the Democrats 4 extra seats in the Senate, locking out Republicans. Now you might be asking yourself, is Senate packing part of court packing? How are those related? They go hand in glove. Why? Because of what's called the ratchet effect. As Justice Breyer, a noted liberal Supreme Court justice, once explained when talking about court packing, quote, "What goes around comes around, and if the Democrats can do it, the Republicans can do it." So after the Democrats pack the court to 13 justices, the next Republican administration would have the chance to reciprocate in kind. And they
Yes, that's the consequence cascade that Pisco is just asserting. You don't have to worry about that, right? Yes, it sets a precedent. Exactly. So like on substance, like first of all, presentation, Mullally is on top of it. He's not using abstractions. He's not going into a 6-premise argument and presenting it on the screen. He's saying they are trying to just add 4 Democrats to bring it from 9 to 13 justices on the Supreme Court. They're just trying to add it, and he's saying there's no reason why this the cascade to think that there will be no cascade after this. Like, it's crazy. Could you imagine if Trump felt he could appoint unlimited justices? That's basically what the Democrats are asking.
Maybe they'll go to 19. Maybe they'll go to 20. But then it's the Democrats' turn again, and they'll go to 30, 40, 50, 60. And pretty soon, the concept of the rule of law, the concept of an enduring constitution is a joke. It's a sad memory. So but the Democrats know this. They know this is a risk. So what are they going to do about it? How can they have their cake and eat it too? They pack the Senate, because if the Republicans can never get back in power in the Senate, they can never repack the Supreme Court. That's why they want to make DC and Puerto Rico states. Tyranny cloaked in virtue. But even that's not enough.
So that's like his tagline is tyranny cloaked in virtue, right? So like my thing with sovereign citizens, that's his thing in this. It's like, this is tyranny cloaked. They're trying to convince you that they're like good people. This is tyranny. They're trying to take away your freedom, right? So he's like very good at using labels, like strong opening, strong position, not like Pisco's like very, very weak opening. Like, this is concrete. It's strong, it's straightforward, you can understand it, you don't need 6 premises.
They want to create an enforceable code of ethics for Supreme Court justices so they can discipline the justices that they don't like. But don't worry, Pisco's been very clear that he would only favor using such an ethical code, and I'll quote him, against the conservative justices that supposedly lied during their nomination hearings, though they did no such thing. Every statement Pisco makes tonight is an admission, every single one. And here's why. It's so obvious. Pisco said his argument is about political self-defense. That's what he said. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel pretty threatened by court packing, Senate packing, infiltrating the court, taking away their independence. I feel pretty threatened.
1 minute.
Are the Republicans justified in packing the court? Are they justified in self-defense? They have all the institutional power right now. They could pack the court tomorrow. They could put 4 frothing at the mouth conservatives on the court. Are they justified in self-defense? Pisco says no. He said in his opening, it's only for the Dems. He won't bite that bullet. And that's all you need to know to reject Pisco's self-defense argument. It's classic partisanship, rule for thee, not for me. It's a false argument meant to obfuscate and sane-wash tyranny. You ought to reject everything Pisco says unless he's willing to condemn the Democrats' proposals in full. But even if that's enough to decide the debate, that's enough. But even if it weren't, his argument is nonsense. It's a clunky syllogism which is on its face a disaster. It's internally contradictory and self-defeating. The premises are false. It relies on undefined terms which appear to have proprietary and non-standard definitions. And it is all obvious. Pisco knows it, or at least he should.
All right.
So why is he saying it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
To obfuscate tyranny. That's what he's here tonight to do. And I'm here to reveal
tyranny.
We'll have some fun tonight.
Awesome,
yeah, so this was like, you can tell just from the openings, like this is the moral of the story, right? And you can use this in like theological debates, any kind of debate. Like the basics are the same, right? Like, what is Ryan's objective? To expose Pisco as like some puppet for these people that are trying to obfuscate tyranny, that are trying to use this cover of virtue to cover up the fact that they are just power-hungry liberals that want to take away your freedoms. Like, and then meanwhile, Pisco has like his gay 6-premise opening, like that nobody even understood, that's in tiny font on the screen. It covered up his face anyway. Nobody even got what he was saying from his opening. Ryan Mullally is like, he's a tyrant. He's working for the tyrants. Hello. He's trying to add his people to the Supreme Court. He wants to add as many as 4 people to the Supreme Court. And like, watch this opening dialogue, like just the openings by themselves, but it's going to go to a 60-minute open dialogue. And like, you'll see, like, these are important because Ryan was able to maintain this as his own cross-examination, like 95% of the time.
Yeah, you didn't really go over too much. I was just making sure you knew that's 5. Awesome. We're going to get into the open dialogue. We got 60 minutes hitting on the clock here. And since Ryan just went, we'll go ahead and let Pisco take it over for opening it up for his affirmative position. And go ahead.
Yeah, sure. And so a lot of this is just 60 minutes back and forth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'll try not to interrupt too much unless there's someone severely over talking the other. But generally, you know, I'm sure you guys know how to be respectful here and let each other talk. So go ahead.
Yeah, I thought a lot of what Ryan just said is like bluster and non-relevant stuff. I have a logically valid argument, and I'd like to know which premise that you're unconvinced by.
Okay, Pisco, let's dive into it. First of all, can you explain to the audience?
Okay, so like this is a basic D4 opening from Pisco. Like, I don't think you addressed my argument. What do you have to say about my argument?
Logically valid means and it doesn't mean, because I think that's confusing for a lot of people.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think I already did. If the premises are true, then the conclusion follows.
Okay, so your
conclusion
assertion is
also
that this
true.
is a logically valid argument.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just means that it
Yeah, so
doesn't
just because it's valid doesn't mean it's sound, by the way, which I think is what Ryan is getting at.
mean that the premises are true. Doesn't mean that the argument's a good argument.
But I don't know what you mean by good. You mean sound?
Yeah, sound fine.
Yes, sound. Yeah. So like an argument is sound if the conclusion follows from the premises necessarily, and the premises are all true. And I take the premises here to all be true. I'm just asking which of these premises you take issue with.
I take issue with a bunch of them, but but in order to get there, Pisco, we're gonna have to just let's test the basics first. On the top of the page, it says an argument from self-defense.
Yeah.
I feel very threatened by the Democrats' plan to add 4.
Yeah, it's like kind of a false premise, right? Is that this whole thing is grounded on they have a right to self-defense, so they have a right to add a bunch of Democrats to the Supreme Court. And he's saying like, well, if you can do that whenever anybody feels threatened, like that is a pretty flimsy grounding.
Or
right?
justices of the court and pack the Senate. I feel deeply threatened. Am I justified, Pisco? Am I
Yeah,
justified in packing the court?
that's just the title I gave the argument. That's not anything in the argument.
Pisco, nobody but you cares about your argument. So am I justified in packing the court?
Well, I think that the argument, if the premises are true, then the conclusion, which is the proposition debate, follows.
Yeah, so Ryan's saying, like, screw your argument. I'm not here to talk about my argument. Who cares about your argument? Nobody cares.
So you're not going to answer if the Republicans are justified in packing the court?
Okay, so can I, if you're going to pack the court, why can't I pack the court, right? Based on self-defense.
If the Republicans are the injured party, they would be justified under the argument.
No.
It's a neutral argument.
You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You know what self-defense means. Do I need to let somebody injure me before I have a right to self-defense?
No.
Yeah, so I take that as a derail. It's not within the argument, but it is a neutral argument.
So nobody, I'm going to tell you honestly, nobody cares about syllogism. Nobody cares.
Ryan gets it. He gets it. Nobody cares about your gay syllogism. Like, he gets it.
So this is the argument that I've come to present. And so are you saying that you don't have a basis to reject the premises?
What I care about is the fact that your party is tyrannically planning to lock themselves in power and lock the Republicans out of power for generations. That's
Ryan gets it right there. That's it. That's the whole debate.
But it is a neutral argument.
Nobody cares about syllogism.
So this is the argument that I've come to present. And so are you saying that you don't have a basis to reject the premises?
What I care about is the fact that your party is tyrannically planning to lock themselves in power and lock the Republicans out of power for generations. That's what I care about.
That's the crux of the debate. That's what the debate is about. Like, nobody cares about your dumb 6-point syllogism. You want to put 4 Democrats on the Supreme Court and lock the Republicans out of power forever. And this is Ryan identifying what the point of disagreement is, what the point at issue is. Like, what is the substance of the debate, right? This is like me saying, like, yeah, I guess the guise of our debate is sola scriptura or icons, but really it's about holy orthodoxy is true and your view is wrong. Like, that's what every theological debate that I'm doing is about. It's the same thing with Ryan here. He's able to identify the underlying issue and say, what this is actually about is you want to consolidate power for the Democrats and you want to lock out the Republicans forever by stacking the Supreme Court in your favor, right? Why not remove judges and just drop to 3? That's a good point. What are you going to do, though? Fire them? Like...
about Pisco.
That's not the
your
argument.
Syllogism means nothing to me. I
So you don't want
about it. No, how about this, Pisco? We can make this very easy. Do you disavow the plan to add 4 justices in Pact 13?
No, but that's not the proposition of the debate.
Do you disavow?
No, I don't. No, I don't. But
Okay.
that's
Hey, so Ryan has this lawyerly thing to take like different angles to be like, okay, he doesn't want to affirm it. Will he condemn it? If he doesn't condemn it, then you basically you have something that's almost just as good as him affirming it, right?
That's tangential. Ryan.
No, that's what we're talking
That's tangential.
about.
So I presented an argument here.
The plan to add extra seats.
This is just rhetoric.
Hey, this sounds familiar. I've had somebody say that, like, I'm only using rhetoric too. It's like, do you want to stack the Supreme Court and lock the Republicans out of power? Like, that's the crux of the argument. And like, Pisco's just not getting it. He's like, this is the derail. You're just using rhetoric. He's just like whining about Ryan the entire time. He doesn't want to answer any questions. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Who's talking about more substance here? Ryan or Pisco? Pisco has a 6-premise syllogism, and that's actually less substantive than what Ryan is saying. Right? He's just cutting right to the issue. Tag is just rhetoric, bro. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Ryan's mean. That does sound familiar. Sounds familiar.
This is rhetoric.
Do you disavow and condemn Pisco?
Wait. That's
Do
rhetoric.
you disavow and condemn Pisco?
That's rhetoric. I just want to address my argument.
Yes, Pisco. Yes or no? I'll give you your famous one. Yes or no, Pisco?
So I already told you I don't disavow the plan by Rokana. I don't disavow it, but I already answered it. So now I'd like to address my argument for the debate proposition. Is that all right?
No, it's not all right.
So I brought an argument in the debate, and you don't want to address why.
We're going to get to it, but I just want to make sure the audience understands.
That Ryan's like, your argument is gay. Do you want to stack the Supreme Court?
What you're saying.
Yeah,
you're saying
rhetoric and posturing.
You support packing the court to 13 members, correct?
That's one of several solutions I'm okay with, but like that's not the proposition.
Your party's advocating for it. You won't disavow it. So
of course I won't disavow it. But, like, I'm trying to give you an argument in favor of it. You don't want to address it.
And you will not disavow, Pisco. You will not disavow packing the Senate by adding.
The argument isn't about what I'm going to disavow or not. The argument is whether it's justified.
But you won't disavow it. You're not.
Hang on a second. We're not here to do posturing and rhetoric.
Why not, Pisco?
This is a debate.
I'm here to defend my country from tyranny, Pisco.
It's a debate.
What I'm here to do.
Okay, so are you here to debate the proposition or not?
Pisco.
Look. Ryan reiterating his main point this entire time throughout the open discussion. That's like, I am here to defend against tyranny. I don't care about your gay 6-premise syllogism. I am here to defend my country. You are trying to undermine my country. You are advocating for these psychos who want to stack the Supreme Court with 4 liberals, 4 additional judges that are like foaming at the mouth liberals. Pisco, you're a psycho, right? Like, that's Ryan's whole thing. And like, no matter what Pisco says, what is Ryan going to do? Pisco, I don't care about your gay syllogism. You're a psycho. You want to stack the court. Like, that's like, he keeps on emphasizing his points, which again, this is like good advocacy.
What I'm here to do is point out that the Democrats are on the verge, based on the thinnest veneer of
That's not the
justification,
debate proposition.
to lock themselves
That's not the
into
debate
power
proposition.
forever. And we can
That's not what we're here to
get
debate.
silly argument in a second.
So you want to debate something? So we agreed to a debate prompt, and now you're saying you want to debate something else.
Well, Pisco, what you want to do, what your party wants to do, what you will not
That's
disavow,
not what we're here to talk
is
about. We're here to talk
lock
about
the
court
Republicans out of power.
Exactly,
Pisco,
yes.
How about this? Tell me you don't want to lock the Republicans out of power.
Yeah, no, but that's tangential
Pisco,
to the
do you
topic.
want- do
That's
you
the
want-
He won't say, I don't want to lock the Republicans out of power. He won't say that.
tangential to the
Republicans out of
topic. We're here to debate the court expansion.
Yeah, I do
you
think we
want to
should
lock Republicans out of
try
power?
to stay as close to the topic as possible on the
We
prompt
agreed to
here.
a topic. Let's stick to it. I provided an argument for that proposition.
Am I going to get an answer about whether you would like to lock the Republicans
I
out
view
of
that
power?
as a derail. I've already answered some of your derail questions, and I've already
no,
chosen not to
we're not gonna
correct some of your false assertions in your intro. But it has nothing to do with what we're here to debate.
So we're
It
not
could be
going to
the
get an
case
answer to that?
It's not what we're here to debate. I think I have to stand
Which
my
is like, I disagree with Pisco here that I do think it is relevant to the topic because, like, are the Democrats justified in expanding the Supreme Court? Well, whether you lock the Republicans out of power indefinitely, that is relevant to whether Democrats are justified in expanding the Supreme Court. I don't even get Pisco's objection here. Like, this is a desperate, like, Pisco. Keep in mind, dude, this entire time so far, Pisco has been on defense, complaining about relevance and rhetoric. He hasn't made a single point in this open discussion yet, and Ryan is dominating the entire thing. And like, this is like, people say that like I'm mean, that like, oh, Alex, you asked too many questions. This is what lawyers actually do, right? They stay on the offense. They keep on reiterating their points, right? They are looking at the bigger picture and the bigger issues. They're not going to get lost in your gay little six premise syllogism. Like, I'm not ragging. Like, sometimes they're useful, right? But like, it's the main point. Like, what is he trying to do? He wants to add liberals to the Supreme Court to switch power and to lock out the Republicans out of power, right? So it's like, when you're thinking about debates and theological issues, these are the things that you have to also consider, is like, what are they asking me to do? What are they asking me to affirm? They want, like, Kelly Powers in Sola Scriptura, he wants me to say that the ecumenical councils, the church of the first 1,000 years, did not have a valid judicial authority to make those calls on how you interpret scripture and how you understand theology. That's what he's asking me to really affirm. And like, I can't do that. Sorry, I'm not a sovereign citizen, right? And looking at the bigger issue and catching those entailments.
my ground and say, we're here to argue a specific point, and you trying to derail me rhetoric is not effective, and it's not convincing anyone.
I think the audience understands exactly why you won't disavow that, and that's more than.
I think I understand why you're not willing to address the argument, and if we're confident you would.
Let's go to your nonsense.
Yeah,
let's go to your nonsense argument, Pisco.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Which premise do you disagree
Premise 5. There is no reason to expect a severe consequence cascade.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Why on earth would the Republicans not repack the court the next time they have power?
I'm not saying that they wouldn't.
So you think that that's
Catching up, while I agree with you about the meaning of Hebrews 4, arguing that the following verse says before him isn't a solid argument, fine. Well, I have patristic witnesses for it, so what?
not a severe consequence cascade if the parties just keep expanding the court over and over and over again?
I view that as preferable to the status quo.
Pisco, your argument doesn't say it's preferable to status quo. Your argument says there's no severe consequence cascade.
Well,
you don't think?
Yeah, it's true. He just lost because his premise 5, right? It falls apart because there is a consequence cascade.
Yeah, the court over and over again would be a severe consequence cascade?
Yeah, I view the consequences relative to a status quo of some sort. If, for example, it's not making things worse in any respect compared to taking the action, I don't view that as making things worse. It's making things better. So it's not.
So if your proposal leads to a 100-member Supreme Court where every couple of years we had new judges in there, the Constitution totally changes, all the rulings totally change, that wouldn't be a severe consequence cascade? You think that's preferable?
So his syllogism is like totally discredited just like based off this one point alone.
I don't think that outcome is precisely speaking likely the 100% thing because we've never seen examples of this kind of thing before.
Because you're proposing something unprecedented.
Yeah, this has never happened before. So he's like, we can't say, we don't know that there will be a cascade. And then Ryan's like, I mean, doesn't it make sense? Also, this is unprecedented.
The party is proposing a 4-person partisan pack. It's never been done in the history of the United States. Pisco.
So
it's
first of all,
never been done.
right.
So yes,
the argument is not indexed.
Unprecedented, then it turns out that you have an unprecedented outcome.
Are you conceding that you don't have any examples of this occurring?
Pisco, you're proposing something unprecedented. You are proposing something unprecedented.
I don't think the debate.
Saying to me, do you have examples of how this turns out? Well, you're doing something unprecedented, Pisco. Can you name me a time when they did a 4-person partisan pack?
The argument isn't specific to the argument.
Wow, Ryan just totally Uno reverse card that on Pisco, and he's like, you're right. What you're doing is Pisco's like, you don't know. This has never happened before. And then Ryan's like, you're right. It's unprecedented. When has this ever happened before?
Isn't specific to a number of justices.
Well,
So
Pisco,
my argument is not
do you
indexed to that.
disavow the 13-person pack?
No, I don't. But that's not
Do
what
you
we're here to
condemn
debate.
it?
We're here to debate court
Are
expansion.
you aware that James Carville said that Democrats should lie?
Yeah, Ro Khanna is not the.
James Carville, so I said that James Carville said that the Democrats should not talk about it. They should hide their power level. They should get into power and then just do it.
Why is it relevant what James Carville said? I thought we were here to debate like what's likely.
Nobody should trust you saying, "Oh, we're going to pack it."
The argument isn't whether you can trust me.
Pisco, I'm just giving an argument to pack it to 10.
My character isn't at issue here, right? Wait.
Okay, it's not technically at issue, but remember, what is Ryan's objective in this debate? What is his objective? It's like, my objective is not necessarily, like, it's not primarily to debunk icons or sola scriptura. Ryan's objective is to destroy Pisco. That's Ryan's objective, is to destroy and discredit Pisco. That's what his objective is.
Do you think my argument is the debate? My character is the debate? My character the debate?
The Democrats are planning to pack it to 13.
Is my character the debate?
You support packing it to 13.
Yeah, but would it be
you don't have the
expansion
balls
generally?
to argue the thing you actually support. Why should
Yeah, that's why he's obfuscating, right? He doesn't actually have the balls to argue for his own thing. And like, remember, this prompt, this is just a guise, right? Every single prompt in a debate is just a guise for a bigger objective, for a larger purpose, right? Like, really, we're all advocating for something.
anyone take you seriously? Why would anyone care about your
Why don't we start?
packing it to
Yeah, why don't we start?
Why
don't we start with just the minimal condition?
No,
for why not?
We will
Why
not start with the minimal
Why
condition.
not?
Because
This Ryan maintaining control, and like, Pisco's also a lawyer, right? So this is like, this looks horrible for Pisco, right? Ryan has maintained control like so seamlessly throughout this entire open discussion.
that's not what the Democrats are
logical?
proposing, Pisco. I don't
Wait, no,
care
my
about your
argument-
logical syllogism, Pisco.
Wait,
I'm
no,
defending my country from your
Yeah,
party's tyranny.
so you don't want to debate the proposition?
Pisco,
You
I
want
don't
to,
give a shit about the proposition. What I'm telling you, Pisco, is that your party is advocating for rampant tyranny, and you won't
Yeah,
even disavow it, Pisco.
I don't
you
think
don't even have the courtesy to disavow it because you
That's like it. That's the debate right there. He never denies this, Pisco. Pisco never denies this. And Ryan is just like on top, like such good advocacy, like very, very good advocacy over here from Ryan. Like all the theological debaters, like we need to get out there, listen to debaters that do like other topics, because there are good debaters out there everywhere, right? And like Ryan is somebody who, like, in terms of debate skill, he is excellent. He is very, very good. He is somebody to keep an eye on. Like this is exactly what we're talking about in terms of advocacy and like litigation. Don't get caught up in these tiny details in your 6-point syllogism. Look at like the main picture. What is he saying? What does he want you to do? How crazy is it? Right? And like, don't miss the forest for the trees.
you wanted to come and debate a
Because you
particular,
support it,
if you wanted to come, if you wanted to come to debate a particular plan, you should have told the debate organizers that that's what you wanted to debate.
expanding to 13 within expanding the court, Pisco? Is that within the
It's a
proposition?
subset. It's a subset, but it's not the only.
It is
It's
a subset.
Okay, so he just Pisco just considered that it's conceded that it's relevant.
And is it
Yeah.
a subset that you personally support?
It's one of many measures that I would support.
Okay,
Why don't
and
we
is it
start-
It's a subset that he supports. It's relevant. And then he tries to go to Big Mike at one point and say, like, look, he doesn't want to debate the prompt. He just conceded it's relevant.
A
why
subset
don't
that's
we
supported
start-
by the Democratic Party?
Some, but not all.
So
Some,
then
but not all.
defend
Some,
your
but not all.
position,
No,
Pisco.
but
Defend
let's-
your position.
Why don't we just take
not
this?
the
Yeah,
hypothetical
exactly.
position that your party's not taking.
Well, the whole
defend your position.
It's all it's all hypothetical, right? So
Pisco,
I'm going to propose.
defend
So
your
I'm going to propose.
position.
Pisco has not gotten a point in yet. Ryan is controlling this whole thing. He hasn't even made a point yet.
I would be okay with a 2-person court pack. That's a position that I've expressed before. I wouldn't be. I think that the additional 2 with Rokana, that is enough for mild deterrence. But why don't we just not get into that more complicating factor and just
No.
look at something? Why?
Because, Pisco,
Yes, thank you, Michael. This is technical argumentation versus persuasion, and Ryan is also technically excellent. Yes, exactly. Yes. I am not concerned with having a technically fit argument. That's useful. You need to know that, right? Your arguments should be sound and like technically, like they should be structured properly, but we're trying to persuade people. This is advocacy, right? And that's like, this is what I'm trying to get across to people. Like, yeah, you can have the most like technical sound, like neat little 6-premise syllogism. Ryan's going to come down with a bulldozer and just knock the whole thing over. It's exactly right. Is this the debate where he asked the other guy how to do better? I don't know. Did he? That's actually crazy. I think Ryan so far took up like 70% of the speaking time. Ryan is dominating this. He gets it, and he's just reiterating his points, staying on offense the whole time.
Recently you went on and you said, we can talk about 13, which I support. That's a quote from you. This is your position. You said
But that's not what we agreed to debate about. We agreed to debate about court
Yeah, so Pisco is doing a Mott and Bailey where he routinely advocates for one position. Now he's actually called to account for it. He retreats to some weaker position.
I'm debating to save my country from your tyranny. I care not
I think that
at
should be like
all
meta and
about your
rhetoric and
syllogism.
posturing
I care
and like.
not at all about
Okay, so then maybe you
position.
should have just did a speech instead of like doing a debate. I mean, that's a speech.
Well, I am here to alert people.
Look, Pisco is just whining about Ryan. He could be making points. Pisco's not even making points. You know what Pisco should be saying instead of whining about Ryan's rhetoric? He should say, you guys avoided when Scalia reposed, when Scalia passed away, you guys waited to add somebody. That's not fair. That's what he should be saying instead of whining about Ryan. Like, not at a single point does Pisco, this moron, go on offense.
danger that your party is posing.
You weren't here today. You're not here today.
Unchecked danger that your party is posing.
Are you here today or
And
not?
here's the
Yes.
deal. You won't even debate the position you hold. You won't debate the position your party holds.
I want to
No,
debate the position we agreed to. We agreed to a
If
proposition.
you
That's what
are
I want to
happy
debate.
to disavow 13, I am happy to
I
talk
don't.
about
It's just
11.
tangential. I don't, but it's
Then we're
tangential to
talking
what we
about
agreed to debate
13,
about.
Pisco.
We
Then we're
agreed to
talking
debate
about
on a
13.
specific thing, and you want to debate like a harder, I guess,
Pisco,
maybe a
when you
different version of
proposed
that.
it, I said you can take it however you want. I'm talking about what
you
your
think a
party
two-person-
actually wants
do you think a
to do.
two-person expansion would be an
Pisco,
expansion?
I don't care about some narcissistic competition between you and me. You are trying to rape our country with tyranny on behalf of a party that is packing the court to 13 and expanding the Senate by 2 states to lock the Democrats out of power, and you won't even disavow it. You don't even have the courtesy to disavow it, and you expect me to play mind games with you?
So we can
about a
schedule.
policy
It's not a
you
mind
don't
game.
hold?
Yeah, so who's putting so Ryan Pisco shows up with a 6-point syllogism. Ryan shows up with you are graping our country. Honestly, Ryan has a lot more substance in like that one line than Pisco has in his entire 6-point syllogism.
I'm trying to actually focus us on the thing that we agreed to talk about. We scheduled a debate. The debate that I came here to actually have with you is the debate about what we agreed to debate about. That's what I think we should do.
No, I do not care about that at all.
You don't agree about the agreement we had to debate this
not
thing?
At all.
Yeah, so again, this is like what I'm always saying too. Like, do I care about your arguments, your dumb arguments for sola scriptura? Not at all. You're not in Christ's church. Your soul is in danger. I told this to Kelly. Your soul is in danger. You cannot start your own church. You have to join Christ's church. Like, that's the point that I'm trying to make in every single debate. It's like, your soul is in danger. The same thing with Ryan here. He's like so excellent at like making the point. Like, I don't care about this stupid debate. You're trying to ruin our country.
The debate that I came here to actually have with you is the debate about what we agreed to debate about. That's what I think we should do.
No, I do not care about that at all.
You don't agree about the agreement we had to debate this thing?
Not at all. When you are advocating for tyrannical control of the country under
That's just
one-party
rhetoric,
rule.
Ryan.
Well,
Ryan, that's just rhetoric. Okay?
It's your
Like,
position.
I don't want the meta. I just want the actual debate.
If 13 is not tyranny, defend it. If 13
Yeah, I will. We
defend it, Pisco.
can schedule a debate on the 13th. I just thought
we could schedule it later, Pisco?
Yeah.
Oh,
we can
that'd be
if you
nice.
want.
Yeah,
or you could concede the proposition and we can
Pisco.
talk about the 13 right
We
now.
can talk about the 13 right now. I don't care about the proposition.
No, but
Pisco, I don't care about the proposition.
I do want to clarify if I should consider that a concession on this specific proposition.
I am happy to talk about whatever.
Concede?
Sure, I concede. Pisco, talk
You
about
concede.
13.
Okay. So you concede the Democrats are justified in court expansion.
No, I obviously think that's bullshit.
Then why are you lying? Wait, no, stop.
13.
Wait. Okay, so you concede the Democrats are justified in court expansion.
No, I obviously think that's bullshit.
Then why are you lying? Wait, no, stop.
13.
Wait a second. Why are you lying and saying that you concede when you don't actually concede?
Because my personal integrity matters less to me than the future of my country.
Do you lie when it's convenient?
You are open to tyrannizing the country, and you
Do you lie
won't
when
even
it's
defend
convenient?
your proposition.
Do you lie when it's convenient?
Would I lie to defend my country from tyranny? Yes. Would you?
In the context of this debate, you're lying.
It's like, yes, I agreed to whatever you want so that I can get in front of you and discredit you in front of all of these people. Like, do you concede the debate? Yes, defend your position. Like, yeah, I don't care. Like, this is exactly what people don't understand. Like, I am fighting for a position. You guys should all take this position. Do I care about like the formalities of this dumb debate? No, I don't care about formalities. I care about winning people to my side. Like for Ryan, I care about saving my country. For me, I care about bringing people to holy orthodoxy. I don't care about your dumb, like, okay, the scholars in the first 2 centuries say that portrait icons are questionable. I don't care. Become Orthodox. It's Christ's church. Like, I don't care about what your dumb scholars have to say about this. Become Orthodox. It's Christ's church. Like, people don't get this. They get so caught up in these, like, technical stuff. Yeah, they fight debate for the sake of it. We do it with a purpose. Exactly. Like, Ryan has a purpose. I have a purpose. Yeah, standing on principle is foreign to Pisco, so it seems. Like, I don't care. I will say whatever I need to say to have a debate with you in front of a crowd of people so that I can discredit your dumb view. Like,
I mean, you won't even defend the proposition, the position you hold. So
I would, but I want to debate the thing we agreed to.
Well, Pisco, I don't give a shit about that. Defend 13. Go. That's what the Democrats propose.
I'm not going to move to a different proposition until we get like a finality on the actual.
We have finality. Go. Here's the issue, Pisco. What your party is proposing, I view as worse than anything they've accused Trump of doing. This is the worst, most tyrannical thing I've heard. And by the way, Pisco, when I preferred Trump in 2024, I sacrificed my vote. I didn't vote for him because I thought what he did with the false slate of electors was disqualifying. You, on the other hand, are openly advocating for this tyranny. You're openly advocating for it, and you don't even have the balls to defend it. You don't even have the balls.
You can't say that, Ryan, because I am willing to defend that.
So
but I also
defend
want to. No, I do want to. I am willing to defend it. And I just told you we can schedule a debate.
This is the lawyer.
Yeah, so he's running.
Banality. This is
What?
Let me point to this little technicality, and hopefully you won't see that what we're planning to do is lock the Republicans out of power.
Well, this is important. Like Prof. Dave, fake Professor Dave, has no purpose. I think this is really important to establish because, like, remember when that guy called in and he was like, I'm a student of JP. And then it was like me and Ash and Jeff and I think Nick on the panel. And we were like, okay, we concede everything to you. What should we do? He was like, just do you, man. Just believe in God, whatever. You guys remember that when that guy called in? We conceded. We were like, okay, for the sake of argument, we concede everything. What should we do? What church should we join? What do I have to do? And the guy had like nothing. That's exactly what position Pisco is in right now. They have no purpose. They're just debating for the sake of it. They literally had no position. Yeah. Exactly.
Ryan, it's not a technicality.
Pisco, do you favor locking Republicans out of power?
So that's not a technicality. What you're referencing.
Pisco, do you favor locking the Republicans out of power?
It's not a technicality. It's
Pisco,
whether
do you favor locking the Republicans out of power?
It's not a technicality. So I want to address what you just said.
3 times.
You said that I'm doing
Pisco,
something like
do
unfair.
you favor locking?
Yeah, so I'm not going to get moved on a derail, right? Like you're just
4.
doing rhetoric. You're just doing rhetoric right now.
You're just doing rhetoric. Where have I heard that before? Pisco, how is that not relevant to are the Democrats justified in expanding the Supreme Court? Are you in favor of locking the Republicans out of power? That's like directly relevant. Pisco doesn't want to answer. Asked 4 times. Utter vile snake, Pisco is.
It's not helping.
Yes
I'm trying
or
to
no,
defend myself. So we had an agreement. I'm not going to get like
Ask me,
sandbagged by you on a different proposition.
Do I favor locking the Democrats out of power? No. I don't.
No. You're so virtuous and you're wonderful. And that's what we're all here to just virtue signal. That's what you're doing right now.
It's a very, very easy question, Pisco. It shouldn't be that hard.
I'm a great person. You're a great person, except you lie about
You can't answer the question whether you favor locking the Republicans out of power.
It's tangential. I don't want to get a derail.
You can't answer that question.
No, I have an answer, but I just don't want to derail. Do you understand that?
How about this? Do you think we should live in a world where people in California and New York run everything? Do you favor that?
More rhetoric. I mean, that's about as relevant.
These are all relevant questions. It's crazy how Pisco just whines about relevance the whole time. Like, he's horrible. And Ryan is just dominating this whole thing by just like running through hypotheticals. Like, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you support this? And you know what? Pisco not answering like might as well be a concession at this point. Leftist power is not teleological. It's simply a war against objectivity and truth, which leftists like Umberto Eco have said. Yeah, it's just, they're fighting for a constant flux. And like becoming over being. Like, that's the basis of their political philosophy, is that they just, yeah, it's just a war against objectivity and truth. It's just constant flux. They're not based in anything. It's demonic, really. Yeah. Per Heraclitan flux worship. Yeah, it's demonic. 100%.
That's the separate thing was. I mean, these are all irrelevant.
But would you deny that position? You think we'd be a better world if California and New York ran the world?
I have a view on what you just said, but I think at this point I'm not going to entertain any more derails.
Okay.
And I think that we should.
So then
so like Pisco, instead of saying I'm not going to entertain any more derails over and over again, complaining about, just like ask your question and like make your point. It just comes off as like so weak. Like Ryan dominated this whole thing.
You can see on the proposition, or you can engage it and have a debate.
I'll just read some fun quotes from Pisco then. Back in the day when he was,
is this really debates?
When he was Pisco 95, he had a chat with Destiny called "The Problems with Packing the Supreme Court."
I'm basically in this chat like Pisco concedes that he's fine with packing the court up to with judges, and that even if it results in a cascade of 100, that the resulting good would outweigh the bad. Like a total concession of what Ryan is saying.
Telling the audience that they should disregard you because you are putting.
So I didn't know my character was an issue in this debate.
Logic over tyranny.
So you don't want to debate the proposition. You want to debate whether I'm a good person or whether I'm truthful after you are a self-admitted liar, and you don't want to actually hear the agreement of the
If you were
debate.
willing to defend the positions you actually hold, then I wouldn't be forced to keep pointing out what positions you actually hold. But you do.
Why are the full range of my positions at issue in this debate? Isn't the debate about court extension?
Okay, finally, Pisco like tries to make a point back where he says like, look, it's not my whole life that's at issue. It's the argument that I made in this debate that's at issue. And Ryan basically says, screw you. You're a horrible person, and I'm going to expose you live on TV.
Why are we entertaining this?
People who hold those range of positions are attempting to lock the Republicans out of power, and you support it and defend it, and are using your skills as a lawyer to give sane-washing cover to tyranny.
That's just not the prompt. We can schedule a debate on that specifically if you want to.
I got so annoyed with Pisco listening to this debate because the whole time all he did was complain about what Ryan was saying and never made any points back.
Right now, talk about it. I do right now.
I don't think I should entertain a derail after we had an agreement.
I think we all know damn well why you won't entertain this, because you want.
No, I literally will.
Power.
I just told you I will schedule. No, hang on a second. I just told you I'll schedule a debate with you on that proposition that I want to lock Republicans out of power.
Since Pisco has a
it.
hard time saying this is my position, last night on his stream, he said, quote, the only way we are going to get the Republican Party in a position of semi-coherent, semi-goodness is if they are out of power for a long time. And hey, here's one way to do it. Rig the court. Rig the Senate. Yay. No more Republicans in power.
That's not the proposition of the debate are my other plans or thoughts about politics. The debate proposition is about...
They're all related, honestly.
A particular policy.
Do your other plans and thoughts about politics involve locking the Republicans out of power through court packing and adding...
I don't think I should entertain the derail anymore.
The court packing is the foundation for the rest of his political plans, so they are all relevant.
Ryan, I mean, like, we can schedule a debate on those measures.
If
we can schedule a debate.
If you'd like to drop, we can end the event, but this is what I'm going to talk about.
This is pathetic, bro.
This is what I'm going to talk about.
You came here under false pretenses. I came here, Pisco, to
ambush
me about an atopical
You are using the thinnest veneer of bullshit logic, which, by the way,
came under
on its
false
own
pretenses.
terms, doesn't even hold up. You've admitted that the ratchet effect would lead to a 100-member Supreme Court. You just think that's preferable.
Remember, ratchet is like a ratchet wrench, right? So he's like, it's just escalating over time. He keeps on twisting the wrench.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I just explained to you why you're misquoting me. You're misunderstanding me. You're when I was saying that's it's counterintuitive.
That's 100-member Supreme Court, and you called it a virtue.
So not that part. No,
and then you said, Pisco, that was preferable.
If you actually watch, if you pretenses, you say you don't care about our agreement, that you shit all over the agreement, and I just take that to be definitionally bad faith and not really worthy of anyone's consideration. It's not really convincing, and I would rather just debate the proposition.
Pisco, I would.
They're talking about court packing. It's a political debate, but it's more like just examining Ryan's tactics in this one. Because Ryan is an excellent litigator, an excellent advocate, and he's able to identify like the substance of the debate and like what it actually is about. And then Pisco is just like over here getting bulldozed the whole time. He's horrible. And they're both lawyers, right? So it's like this is a good example of like lawyer tactics and like what you should expect in a debate, right? So like when Ryan comes in and just like keeps on slamming his points, like this is what I am trying to do in my debates. And like a lot of people don't understand like what debate is. So like you people that complain about like, hey, Anglican pastor dude who came in with your dumb hat that one time tried to say that like I should have told the other Paul that I'm going to take a lawyerly style to debate. Like it's just debate, first of all. Then all like, look, this is what debate is. This is what advocacy is. Ryan just like continually slamming his position. This is excellent advocacy. That's what it is. This is what you're taught in law school. Like, look at the substance of the issue. Don't get caught up in this, like, dumb six-premise syllogism. Like, what is the substance of it? What do I mean by you people? Protestants, evangelicals, Roman Catholics that complained about me being, like, rhetoric only. Or Unitarians, restorationists that complained about me being rhetoric only, when like really the substance is, if I'm debating Aaron Gallagher, Aaron, you have children voting in your church meetings. You're telling me that's apostolic, you psycho? That's not apostolic. And he's like, okay, but like, look at all of these scholars that I have. I don't care about your scholars. You have children voting in your church meetings. Like, or like with Yassi, right? Like, I don't care about like all of your dumb documents from like some like a regional council 1,000 years, like 1,500 years. I don't care about your Lateran documents. Your Pope is a king. He has the papal states. He's carried around on the throne. He has his own money. He has his own standing army. He's the king right now of the Vatican, which is like a state, a city state. He is a political figure. That is not the same Bishop of Rome that you see in the first 1,000 years. Nothing you can say will convince me you're a liar. Like, you just got to look at the substance of these things. And people say I'm all rhetoric. Like, that's the most substantive response you can have. Like, these people try to abstract and obfuscate with like different documents and like these little points and like syllogisms. I don't care about your dumb syllogisms.
Break my word to you to save my country 100 days in a row. And
the line to me doesn't make that happen.
The stuff that you are doing is so slimy, disingenuous, and dangerous that it needs to be called out. It needs to be called out, Pisco. No more hug box panels. You need to be told to your face that what you are doing is worse than the authoritarian stuff you decry. You have become an authoritarian, Pisco. No. And you won't even deny that you hold...
Yeah, honestly, this is the most loving thing that Ryan can say to Pisco, by the way. You realize that like Ryan in saying this to Pisco like is demonstrating that he like genuinely really cares about Pisco. You have become the very thing that you decry. $2 from Incense Addict. Kelly at 134.33 would be a funny soundboard button. I'll have to check it out. Can I say that like during the debate there was one at one point, it might be this at one point where I was like, dude, that's got to go on the soundboard. 8 months from Compendium. Thank you for the 8 months membership. Good Lord, I cannot stand Pisco. That's true, but Ryan, his debate tactics and what we can learn from him, I think trumps how bad Pisco is. Jay versus Adam Kokesh, who's a sovereign citizen, who is sovereign citizen adjacent. Great debate. I'll have to take a look at it. Thank you, Journey of Abundance, for the $5.
That's amazing.
All these positions.
So first of all, I have views on my positions are well known. I know my positions, and
I do too, Pisco.
So you,
Alex, they can't handle that. You just hammer them on the crux of the issue and don't let them wriggle out into irrelevant topics. Yeah. That's what we're here to do, right? Like, we're here to talk about like the underlying substance of the issue, right? We're not here to like, oh, you're sola scriptura. You're a sovereign citizen. Where in the Bible does it give you permission to be a sovereign citizen? Why should I trust the Holy Orthodox Church? You're a sovereign citizen. It's crazy. Like, there are no icons in the first 300 years. It's in the Bible. It's in the temple. They bow to the temple. That'd be a good stream, honestly, reacting to Jay's old debates. That's a good point. Are you telling me I ain't going to heaven? You are in grave danger. You need to join the church Christ started. They're so exclusivist.
you've accurately and also inaccurately characterized some of my views, and to engage in you in this back and forth dialogue about which of the views you've properly characterized, which ones you've improperly characterized, I think is a derail, and it's not respectful of anyone's time, certainly not of the organization that like set up this whole debate for us to have a conversation on a specific thing, where we, by the way, in advance of this, I gave this argument, in advance of this, we advertised this to people to come watch. I have people who I know personally who are watching this debate. I think it's disrespectful to my time, to their time, and to, again, an argument that you knew in advance I was going to levy, and now say you have
Pisco, are you willing to concede that the thing you want to debate is not the Democrats' plan?
So it depends on what you characterize the Democrats' plan, but the answer is defend that. I'm just telling you right now. I'm willing to schedule a debate on that specific proposition. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm glad that we're now going to the argument. The injured party are the Democrats.
Is that irregular, Pisco?
Yeah, no, I just explained. I don't think that it's an irregular norm that you're talking about.
Why not? There was a norm. They broke the norm. Was it irregular?
Yeah, no, I don't think that there was a norm. I think that their nominee and the Democrats approved Anthony Kennedy.
I take it as a political injury, and since we're both equally qualified there, then P2, the Republicans were injured by partisan Supreme Court
I don't think
so. We can go down to
so basically Ryan's showing this doesn't work because your syllogism goes both ways.
So then let
me finish what I'm saying.
What was the norm?
The determination of who's fit to be a Supreme Court justice. I mean, it's always considered. Obviously, it is.
That's not what I said. Do you understand the argument I'm making, Pisco? Can you steal a minute?
You know, maybe you should say it again.
Okay, that prior to Bork, there was a norm that judges were not to be judged on partisan issues about how they will.
Not that I've used the proprietary definition, but that wouldn't change whether the argument is true or not. I mean, I can define terms however I want them, and it doesn't bear on the truth or falsity, except to the extent that like the difference in concept matters. I'm trying to convey meaning to you. So whether I use the term court packing or court schmacking or court packing too, like, are you really going to quibble over the terminology? Or the argument? To address what you just said. To address what you said about proprietary usage,
and I explained a difference in concept.
Yeah. So
there's a difference in concept.
So the argument uses a. Wait, do you actually take the position?
Pisco.
Do you take the position or not?
It depends. Are you guys are you guys serious about packing to 13 and packing the Senate?
Wait, so I don't understand. Are you serious or not?
Let's take a break and do some history. I've been
wait, is that your position or is it not your position?
Yeah, so basically you guys get the idea. Ryan ran the whole thing, reiterated his points, like a good example of what I'm talking about in these debates in terms of being like a good advocate. Guess I'll share the link if you guys disagree or want to do call-ins or something. Or you just have some basic questions. We'll do like 10 more minutes and then I'll send you to Jim Bob's stream here. Okay, call in. Okay. Was this a mock debate? You would think so, dude. Pisco just got like totally ran over. But yeah, that's like, these are the things that you got to be thinking about in these debates, right? It's like, who is actually advocating for their position? Who sees what the real point at issue is, right? Like, who can identify the point of disagreement and the point of difference?